Gina Rippon's book, The Gendered Brain, 2019, confronts long-standing myths about gender differences in the brain and challenges the assumptions that have historically underpinned societal attitudes toward gender. Through a synthesis of neuroscience, psychology, and gender studies, Rippon argues that the brain is not inherently gendered, and that many of the perceived differences in male and female brains stem from social and cultural influences rather than biological determinism. Overview of the book. Rippon begins by outlining the prevailing stereotypes associated with gender differences. From childhood, society imposes rigid roles and expectations that suggest males and females think, behave, and even learn differently. This notion has been perpetuated by scientific research that has often favored simplistic interpretations of data, leading to sweeping generalizations about gender and cognition. For instance, the idea that women are more empathetic while men are more logical has found its way into educational systems, workplaces, and even healthcare. The author stresses that many studies promoting these stereotypes rely on flawed methodologies, often ignoring the complexity and plasticity of the brain. Rippon highlights the importance of recognizing how environmental factors influence brain development and behavior. She argues that focusing solely on biological differences ignores the broader context of how gender is constructed and perceived in society. Neuroscientific evidence. Rippon delves into the brain's structure and function, drawing on the latest research to illustrate that the human brain is more alike than it is different, regardless of gender. One of her key arguments is that while there are some anatomical differences between male and female brains, these differences are typically minimal and do not translate into significant disparities in cognitive abilities or behaviors. For example, Rippon references studies that show variability in brain structures across individuals, often more pronounced than any gender differences. She points out that while women may have a higher percentage of gray matter in certain areas of the brain, men may have larger overall brain volume. However, these structural differences do not correlate with intelligence or capability. Rather, they are influenced by a multitude of factors, including genetics, environment, and personal experiences. Furthermore, Rippon discusses how neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life, plays a crucial role in shaping an individual's cognitive abilities. This adaptability means that experiences, education, and social interactions can significantly influence how the brain develops and functions, emphasizing the role of nurture alongside nature. Challenging cultural narratives. One of the central themes of The Gendered Brain is the critique of the cultural narratives that have emerged around gender differences. Rippon argues that societal expectations have historically dictated how men and women should behave, leading to self-fulfilling prophecies. For instance, the belief that boys are naturally better at mathematics can discourage girls from pursuing interests in STEM fields, thereby affecting their educational and career choices. Rippon emphasizes the role of stereotypes in shaping behavior, highlighting studies that demonstrate how individuals often conform to societal expectations of gender. For example, girls exposed to the stereotype that they are less capable in math are likely to perform worse in math-related tasks compared to girls who are not subjected to such stereotypes. This effect, known as stereotype threat, shows that societal beliefs can have tangible effects on performance, thus perpetuating the myth of inherent gender differences. The author also addresses the impact of language in shaping perceptions of gender. The ways in which we talk about men and women can reinforce stereotypes and biases. For example, attributing success in a field to innate talent rather than hard work can undermine the accomplishments of women in those areas, perpetuating the notion that they are less capable. The role of education and policy. Rippon argues for a reevaluation of how gender differences are taught and understood within educational settings. She advocates for teaching practices that are inclusive and acknowledge the fluidity of gender. By providing a curriculum that encourages both boys and girls to explore a wide range of interests and skills, educators can help dismantle the stereotypes that restrict opportunities for all students. Additionally, Rippon calls for policies that promote gender equity in the workplace and in education. This includes advocating for more women in leadership roles, addressing pay gaps, and creating environments that support both men and women in their career aspirations. By challenging systemic barriers, society can work toward creating a more equitable environment where individuals are not limited by gendered expectations. Implications for future research. Rippon concludes The Gendered Brain by emphasizing the need for ongoing research that goes beyond binary understandings of gender. She encourages scientists to explore the interplay between biology, environment, and culture in shaping brain development and behavior. This holistic approach can lead to a more nuanced understanding of how gender operates within society. Furthermore, Rippon calls for interdisciplinary collaboration among neuroscientists, psychologists, and social scientists to challenge existing paradigms. By integrating diverse perspectives, researchers can better understand the complexities of gender and brain function, ultimately leading to more informed discussions about gender equality and representation. In The Gendered Brain, Gina Rippon effectively dismantles the myths surrounding gender differences in the brain, advocating for a shift in how society perceives and interacts with gender. By providing a robust analysis of the scientific evidence and addressing the cultural narratives that shape our understanding of gender, Rippon makes a compelling case for recognizing the brain's complexity and the significant role of socialization in shaping behavior. Her work encourages readers to challenge stereotypes, embrace inclusivity, and support policies that promote gender equity. Ultimately, Rippon's message is one of empowerment. The belief in inherent gender differences can limit potential, while a recognition of our shared humanity can foster a more equitable and just society. Through this book, she not only contributes to the ongoing discourse on gender and science, but also inspires a generation to think critically about the constructs of gender and their implications for individuals and society as a whole.